Welcome back to Next Gen Investing. It's now time to talk the biggest, arguably the biggest story of the day, because I don't know the last time I've said $4 trillion as much as I have today. Of course, Nvidia with that major milestone. Joining us is Marley Kayden, contributor here for the network, and we're talking the latest with what has been a unstoppable, frankly, really record run for Nvidia, now surpassing Apple's previous high market cap and looking, I know we've pulled back from highs, but new all-time high today, of course.
Yeah, as you said, they're first ever to reach that intraday $4 trillion market cap. Shares have pulled back slightly. As we're looking right now, we're still up about 1.75% on the day, trading at 162.85. That level they did hit to get that $4 trillion valuation was 164.42. For them to keep it at close, they have to close higher than 163.93. So that's the number they need to attain that. And like you said, beating out Apple potentially for that highest mark that they ever received intraday, and if they can close, certainly holding on to it. But it's important to note that Apple and then Microsoft, the other big name in this competition for that $4 trillion mark, had such a huge early advantage on them. They had such a head start. Apple first closed at $1 trillion in 2018. Microsoft hit that mark in 19. For some perspective, Nvidia closed for theirs $1 trillion in 2023. So they've gone from $1 trillion to the intraday $4 trillion, and as I think we probably expect at some point this year, they'll close in that $4 trillion mark in just a 2-year period. So even without that head start, they're still just a behemoth on the move. And they are on pace, as you said, Jenny, that market cap for Apple was $3.9 trillion. It does look like where they stand right now, if they close just where they are now, they will surpass that amount. Right now, they're trading at $3.97 trillion at the current stock price. So they do have to hit, I'm going to give you the exact number, 163.93 to close over the $4 trillion market cap. But where they stand right now, they will still close higher than Apple's record.
So here's a question for you. Is this one of those things that we like to talk about? It's a nice chyron on the bottom of the screen. Or do you think this is really anything more than, just one of those big round numbers that, we cross from time to time?
I think there's a little bit of, we all love a good headline, but I also think this is history. This is history being made. This is not the first time a company in a specific sector has hit this number. This is the first time in history a company has had a $4 trillion market cap.
I think the other key point, too, on this, and this is actually where I'm going to totally agree, is it also crossed Apple's line at the same time. Apple had just fallen short, so it's also like the most a company's ever been worth. And it wasn't like it was Nvidia yesterday, Nvidia the day before, and Nvidia the day before, and we're watching it climb this mountain. It caught Apple, passed it, and now it's potentially crossing this massive milestone as well.
Yeah, it's still ahead of Apple, even if they close right where they are right now, and they've been trading pretty tight in this range that will secure them the record if they close in that range. They will surpass that record that was set by Apple just in December. But I think to your point, Alex, too, it's not a continuation story of the mountain climb for the same company. We're in constant competition with Apple, and Apple's market cap, I have it in here somewhere, currently they're in third. Microsoft is actually
almost a trillion behind Apple.
Yeah,
I know, almost a trillion, not even close. And this is a staggering fact to me, because I love to look at market caps, but its valuation now bigger than the combined companies of Broadcom, Taiwan Semi, ASML, AMD, Texas Instruments, Qualcomm, ARM Applied Materials, Micron, Lam, and KLA Corp.
And those are huge names.
These
are
they're
huge
like a Berkshire
companies.
Hathaway, a Tesla, a JP Morgan behind now.
Yeah, and it's like not even close. So yeah, I think
or 8 Starbucks, which was my favorite metric.
That's also a great metric. So I think that speaks to exactly why it feels like such a big deal. These are not small companies that we are comparing it to, and it's bigger than all of them combined. So $4 trillion, I can't even fathom that dollar amount, but appreciate it, of course, Marley Kayden, for that wonderful insight on Nvidia with a pretty record-setting day.